Hi, I'm John Vipond. I'm an assessor for the ICTB. My assessor number is 157340. I'm doing the technical discussion with Ryan O'Connor, who's a mechanical fitter. We're currently working offshore. Has been on the same project for quite a few years. Ryan, could you please introduce yourself?
Yep, Ryan O'Connor. I'm a mechanical technician on the FPF1. ECITB number is E for Echo 66564. Date of birth 5684.
Yeah, cheers, Ryan, for that. Yeah, we met in person, so and I've done a bit of assessment and workshop situations and that with you, which all went pretty well. So we've got to the stage now where initially I wasn't involved. The very initial a guy left, so I took over his role. So we've come to look at the technical discussion and like broadly go over the questions, which I know it was on a computer screen. So we've got engineering symbols, we've got drawings, which we can't really interpret. So we're going to just broach around these subjects and go over, also I would say, looking at the questions, a lot of the questions you got wrong were, not really wrong, because you've done great as far as I can see, were piping questions.
Yep.
So, a pipe fitter will have a lot more idea. I know you've got some experience in pipe fitting, but, it's not your main role. Also, some would be sort of for being the old mechanical fitter turner. You probably have a lot more to do with, boring machines and lathes, but you were more or less on the field, and you do quite a lot of workshop maintenance as well.
Yes.
But so looking at them questions, I think you've done pretty well, very well to get where you were, and for what we have here, it's great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to broach some of the stuff, Ryan, and so something like, if you were in the workplace and you encountered, you're out on the shop floor, you're out on the platform, and you encountered a problem, you couldn't, you think, I can't solve this. I don't know, let's say some, crane was lifting overhead or something, or you couldn't progress through electrical faults. What would you do? How would you sort of approach that, Brian?
I'd probably first approach my colleagues or my maintenance supervisor for some advice from them. If we couldn't solve it between us, there's then the option of the onshore engineering team who could give us some assistance, maybe some further drawings or whatever like that, and also the manufacturer themselves of the equipment, some fault finding with them, just to try and get where we could, and then probably the last resort would be to actually get a vendor out from the manufacturer to help us solve the issue.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, I do the same. Ask questions, and if you can't move forward, like you said, you go back, not to the drawing board, but you resolve it elsewhere. Great. Another thing is, what's a quality management system? What would you, just a few, the topics of a quality management system. What would you follow, do you think?
So liaising with the other departments within the maintenance team, meetings with the maintenance supervisor again, keeping everybody together, reporting any anomalies and findings, recording all these anomalies and findings so that you can learn lessons learned at the end of that, and you can get information if you encounter a problem later down the line. Yeah.
So basically, you're going to maintain the quality of your systems and wherever it be, on a building site, on a platform.
Yeah.
You're going to follow that. I would just say that would be the answer I would give it. You're going to maintain the quality of the product, of the equipment. It's the big picture, isn't it?
Yeah.
We could go on it forever. So yeah, I'd be happy with that. Stuff like, this is another question. Is, if you were, doing like tapers and stuff like that, tapping and all that. You know what I mean? I'm sure you've done plenty of that. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you done. You know, workshop wise, probably had to do something out on the field sometimes. We all know what it's like when, you know, balls get out, as we had that problem in the workshops during our third, I think it was our third job, wasn't it, that one?
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, you're a Mickey. I mean, you know what's going on. Some of these, like I said, is like, it shows, you know, what type of milling process. Well, you know, we haven't got no pictures or anything. You know, I mean, I know you know how to use a milling machine.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you were doing that in your apprenticeship, probably your second year and stuff like that. So, you know, and again, it's not something in the field that you're going to be. It's a fit a turn or something like that using that Marshall. But I know if you needed to do something, you know, looking at what I've seen of your quality workmanship, you know, as we spoke about it, and I don't think there's a problem there. So I'm just going to keep broaching through. And, you know, if you're going to check, you check in stuff like, you know, your micrometers, stuff like that. How would you go about, something like that?
Obviously check the general condition of the thing in the first place and make sure it's not damaged. Make sure everything's zeroed before you use it.
Yeah, you mentioned to me before about a gauge ball. I mean, if there's one available, you know, it's another. It's something. If you were going to use it regularly, it'd need recalibrating all the time. So I'm pretty happy that you maintain, you check, you especially measuring equipment, you check it, you get a mate to check it. You might have to go back in to get recalibrated and whatever, you know. So,
you'd obviously check the documentation that comes with it that has been calibrated recently. And I think our equipment on board is 6 monthly for recalibration.
Yeah, I think we were talking about as well about, you know, if you're going to use, like, I don't know, a drilling machine, not so much a drilling machine, so a radial arm drill, or even not so much a rotor broach, but a magnetic drill or something like that. How would you check your drill speed for the material and stuff like that?
So there's a program that we can use on the computer, and we also have spreadsheets that, depending on the material that you're drilling or cutting, it would then give you the speed at which you should be cutting or drilling to set up the equipment properly.
Yeah. So you'd follow the process, you know. Like I say, it's different metals. Again, you'll be probably more drilling different metals to me, being as when I was on the tools. Yeah. Also, see, you mentioned to me before about sometimes they've got the speeds on the machines, but you can't always follow that, can you, with a different metal?
Yeah.
You know, there might be just a carbon, you know, stainless. So yeah, we got that. Another thing, I mean, say again, if you're using a radial arm drill, obviously a magnetic drill is going to do its own thing. There's a few ways you can chock something, hold your job in position on the bench. I mean, what would you do?
So if you were drilling by hand, we've obviously got a vice to hold it in place so it's secure. Pedestal drill, again, it's got vice clamp arrangement underneath so that you can get it in the right position before you start work. And obviously that ensures that the point you're drilling is accurate, but also ensures that it doesn't come out safety wise.
That's every machine's different, right? You know, like not different, but you might go in one workshop, they say the setup. That's you know, but yeah, that's the safety side's going to be the main thing, I think. We've got a couple here that's dimensions and stuff like that. What he describes I mean, you know, how would you do your measuring? What would, you know, be mechanical, how would you do measuring, see you were setting out, or what tools and that would you use? You know, you're going to mark something off, or you know.
So paint chalk marker pen on site. Obviously, if you're drilling holes, you'd box mark for that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, just measure twice, drill once or cut once or whatever to ensure everything's accurate.
Yeah, that never changes, does it? Since I'm getting on in years now, that's one of the first things that the two guys who I was the apprentice to. And them days you've got to clip round the ear, but that's the first thing, yeah. And you never forget it, do you?
Yeah.
So I know, yeah, you're picking up your dimensions and all that, but I've seen you doing it. I've seen you marking off. I've seen you, I know what you're about there. Can you, on drawings, I mean, you're probably going to use vendors packs, or mechanical stuff could be for motors, valves, what's not. You obviously know what you're up to with symbols and on drawings,
Yeah.
Can you name there's a few things that have got symbols on? A few symbols that'll be on.
So for P&IDs, which is what predominantly I would use on site rather than ISOs or GEs or whatever, it'll give you the line data, so that'll give you the pipe diameter, pressure rating. It will identify valves, pumps, motors.
Yeah, that'll do, right. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sorry, mate. It's like it myself. The P&ID, you can locate yourself and stuff like that, like you said, for valves, pump, heat exchangers.
Yeah.
It's your key. It's your key, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's it. I mean, they're not so much on the ISOs. That's more the piping side, but I'm quite happy. I'm happy with that bit. We're going to do, if you were sort of putting a new valve in, any type of valve, and your valve pack and stuff like that, when would when would you check your security, the packing,
For me, you would obviously check it when you're putting the valve in, but you would double check that before you put any pressure through the valve. So yeah, before any pressure testing or service testing, check that the packing's secure, and then obviously during the service test you would revisit the valve, double check it again, check for any leaks, any pressure venting, anything like that. Yep.
Fine. Yeah. It's I've been to some sites, fitters on site locally, Teesside area where I am, and it's a different game with them. They'll run the valve, but it's not great pressure, so But I would do it the same as you.
Yeah.
So yeah, but well happy. Yeah. So I was going to go. I'm answering to other questions. I'm just as a piping one. Let me just have a little. Basically, I mean, So you're gonna. Let's cover a couple of subjects here. If you're going to do pipework and flanges and that, what about putting pipework together, flanges? Not eight hole flanges. You could go 36 or whatever you want, but you've got obviously valves and stuff probably more like 18, 16s.
Yeah.
I mean, how would you go about getting these? Explain how you put them together. What would you do? How would you what would you process it?
Follow, obviously, inspect your flanges before assembling anything, check for damage, ensure the correct rating gaskets are being used, correct length of bolts, and then once you've made up the flange, use the correct tightening pattern, depending whether it is a 4, 8, 12, 16 bolt flange, whatever it is. Torque it and tighten it evenly to the right spec, whatever's on your sheet, depending on the flange size and rating. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, I mean, I've actually seen you do it. I mean, I'm not asking again for the pipe fitter who's going to line flanges up, fabricate them. You put this stuff together, right? I know you've got your MGI 10
Yeah.
But I've seen you do it.
Yeah, I've got my
So,
my TMGI 10 and 18 and 19.
Yeah, that's correct. What you say. Yeah, I've seen you do the anti, and I'm perfectly happy. Perfectly, yeah. There's guys that'll do. I say there's some guys who'll mark flanges up at seen in the workshop. They'll mark them up 1, 2, 3, 4. You didn't need to. You like me. It's a natural. It's you know that one to that one to that one. The opposite. So
Yeah.
I'm I'd have no problem, with you tightening a flange up on a job I was running in the day. Some funny ones here. So if you were doing an hydrostatic test on a boiler,
Yeah.
what would you think that would be your maximum lower working pressure, or any system really,
Whatever is stamped on the data plate on the side of the boiler, or in the documentation that comes with that. If there wasn't anything there to support that, then you would have to consult an engineer and be told what the pressure should be.
Yeah. Well, that's covered it. Yeah. Going forward nowadays, it's something I've been involved with myself. You get the work packs. You also get the test packs.
Yeah.
We never used to have that as kids. So probably the last 10 years, we talked about that before. You follow the process. But like you said, if being mechanical and being a fitter in the field, you would go to your documentation if you weren't sure, and you might have your pressure on there. So. You see, you'd consult the data sheets. That's good enough. It's followed the process. So that'll do me. No one's going to go and blast anything to make their own pressure.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm just looking at some of the stuff here. You got in process and oil, liquids, chemicals. Would you, on your flow rates and gas and oil, why would they be monitored? Probably more the production side.
So we obviously have to monitor the pressures and everything we have, but for your metering side of things, you have to.
You said the magic word.
The metering, yeah. So yeah, you've got to tell onshore what you're sending them.
Yeah. You've got it there, the metering, and you actually, you might have been. I've had metering technicians come out of many jobs and land on the job, and I'm thinking, what do they do?
Yeah.
It's a game in itself. So no, I'm more than happy with that. That's. I think we've got to cover the future. We covered things a bit more off because I'm trying to. These things like it's got symbols and what's this picture and that we can't see. I think we've crossed that one. Let me have a look. If you were dismantling sort of flanges and like RTJs and there's problems in that, but can you what type of damage would you find in it's been running a while or whatever, it's like on the wellheads and stuff like that, taking that stuff out. What would you be looking for on gaskets and RTJs and that damage-wise, what would you
damage to the face of the gaskets, which would obviously prevent a seal. Wear, corrosion, erosion, depending on what product was going through the pipeline. Misalignment could obviously cause damage to things as well.
Movement, with that misalignment.
Vibration as well, that can cause damage.
Yeah, that'll do right on see that because I've been there, I've been on them wellheads, I've replaced lots of pipework, and that's basically what you do see. You pull them out, they've got spring in them, they're bouncing about all over, they're working hard, and you know yourself. So probably more the pipeys. You might have two fitters on a big platform permanently replacing stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fittings and that. So great to handle. If you're using a grinder, handheld grinder, you use a cutting disc, grinding disc, you're just chopping out, or you cutting plates or whatever you're doing with it. So sort of the thing is, which abrasive wheels can be used on a machine whose stated speed is 6,000 RPM?
So the rating of the disc would have to be higher than the rating of the grinder, so that it can take that speed.
Spot on, Ryan. Yeah. I've done quite a few abrasive wheels course, and that's it. And we see all these nasty pictures and that.
I've got my abrasive wheels ticket as well.
You don't mess about with them things. And I've seen you using a grinder, and I've seen you, putting and the videos and everything. They'll show you, you know what you're up to.
Yep.
We get another one. Again, we're going over the stuff like dismantling. In the questions, you've got a gearbox showing an image. What type of gearbox is it? I'm pretty sure you tell me how you know what type of gearbox is it. You'd have that. I'm not going to answer the question for you, but I'm saying how I would do it. It's not something I do. You'd know the makers. You'd have the like you did it on them valves. I've seen you change out on the pumps and everything. You've gone through all. You showed me the manuals, so we can't see no images to show us. But I've seen you in real life doing it. So again, you're just covering. You're covering. Could be on drawings. It could be on manuals. You say it could be on the P90s, which probably wouldn't give you the make type of thing. More info, maybe on engineering. Like a.
Yeah, we have. We've got manuals for all the equipment, and that will give GAs, ratings, all the rest of it.
Yeah, I've seen what you're working with and all that. Yeah, it's we're not in the old days anymore. There's plenty of info out there, especially from makers. I've seen you, doing it. I'm going through. I think generally, Ryan, I think we've covered most of the stuff. As I say, I can't broach questions when I don't know what images are, I don't know what symbols are. You know what symbols are. You show me what symbols are. You've worked with the stuff. You've worked with lathes. You've worked with machines. You've worked with drills, grinders, drawings, and personally, I'm pretty happy. On what we've talked about there. We just come in. This you've been older. I've been on the sick. We've just come in and we've just got on with it, and you know your game, and I'm pretty happy with that, right? So I'd like to thank you, for the discussion.
Excellent, thank you very much. Nice one. Thanks, John. See ya.
Right off.